So, I missed out on recording with the rest of my Three Fifths podcast co hosts, and they did a hell of a show. One of the things they discussed was 27 questions black people have for other black people. I was in there because I was retail slaving at the time, so I decided what time better than now to pull out my handy dandy camera and tripod and do my own reaction. If you haven't seen 27 questions black people have for other black people by now, description box below, watch that video before you finish watching this one. Don't worry, I'll wait. Anywho, here's my live, unresearched, unpeer reviewed reaction to 27 questions black people have for other black people.
So hard to be on time. Like, why does 5 to 10 always become 20 to 30?
That's not just a black thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. I know white people who are late as fuck, are never on time for anything, or sometimes they just plain won't show up. Also, it's a matter of priorities. If whatever I'm going to is really important to me, I will make an effort to be on time. If it ain't that serious, and I show up when I show up. And I'm sure that's true across the board for most people, regardless of race.
If my dab is on fleek, am I lit? What?
What does that mean? He was just plain being a jackass. What? Don't show out for the white people, honey.
Why is it a problem if I like anime? What?
That is not a thing in 2016, and if it is, I want to see the receipts. Even back in 2004 to 2008 when I was in high school, yes, there are some Negroes that would clown you for liking anime. It happened. Kids are cruel. They'll pick on you for damn near anything. But at the baseline, even at my hood ass high school, niggas love themselves some Dragon Ball Z. Like, even Waka Flocka has a line in one of his songs, or rather one of his verses, using Goku and Dragon Balls as a reference. Niggas love them some Dragon Ball Z. Not to mention, you got Nicki Minaj who came out being a Harajuku Barbie. One of her first videos, Check It Out, had a clear anime influence, clear anime themes. But black people don't like anime. Black people clown you for anime. And this is a grown ass man saying this. I understand if it was a kid, but you grown. I want to see some receipts.
Black people look at your shoes before they greet you.
What?
Bitch, where? Like Breon said on the show, I ain't never seen that. Ever. And if I'm looking at your shoes, it's probably because they just busted. B-U-S-T-E-D-D-D-D-D-D, busted. And that's probably not a race thing. If your shit busted, honey. I'm sorry.
Are we more likely to engage in the new dance trend than we are to get involved in politics or opening a business?
How do...
That's bullshit. Being apolitical is not a black thing. It's an American thing. Most Americans don't know how the dang political process works. They don't know our three branches of government as it is. Hell, you still have people every day proving that they don't know what the First Amendment means. They just think it means, oh, well, you're preventing me from saying something that you don't like, and that's mean and it hurts my feelings. For those out there who need a refresher on what the First Amendment means, it protects you from government persecution. It does not protect you from these hands. And people, especially entitled ass, bigoted ass white people, don't seem to get that concept.
Watermelon become our thing. Like, everybody should love watermelon.
Why do you
Racism.
get upset when I don't like a black celebrity?
She came from mother, and now she's salty. But all jokes aside, you ain't never heard of a Belieber? You ain't never seen Taylor Swift's Band of Becky's when someone talks about her? But it's just a black people thing? Okay.
Aside, some people are just terrible.
Why do we call each other?
Including you, because this girl right here, and I'm just being petty right now, she got pink, bougie, black, broad voice, and it just annoys me.
The N-word, but get vehemently upset when a white person uses the N-word.
It
Nigga, please.
drains my soul to hear the word, and I just don't understand how people who have any understanding of history can use that word.
It's called reclaiming slurs. Black people are not the only one who have done it. If you haven't listened to the show, if you don't listen to the show, or you don't follow me on any form of social media, I'm queer. Queer used to actually be a slur. People used to get, it used to be an insult. But now, in the advent of, I want to say late 20th, early 21st century, the LGBT community has taken it back. Same thing with the T word and trans people. Your cis ass don't need to be saying it, but they take it and say it as a way to reclaim it, to take away the power the word has over them. It's the same thing for nigga. At least that's why I still say it. Not to mention, any and everything could be a nigga to me. Let's be real.
Why is my natural hair, the hair that grows out of my head, seen as a political statement?
Because black bodies are politicized. From the top of our heads to the middle of our noses to the soles of our feet, every part of our body is politicized. It always has been since we entered this country. Hell, the whole premise of my podcast name is a proof of the politizations of black people's bodies. For land division and all that good stuff, black people had to be considered 3/5 of a person. So states could have votes on referendum laws and all that good stuff. And I'm talking off the top of my head, so I might be saying that inaccurately. But the point is, black bodies have always been politicized and probably always will be. So, tough titty girl.
I think people with light skin look better than people with dark skin.
Do you really
Colorism.
believe that black is beautiful?
Or is that just something you say because it sounds cool?
Why is
I like my baby hair with baby hair and afros. I like my Nero nose with Jackson 5 nostrils. I believe it.
some black people say that you're pretty for a dark-skinned girl? I mean, that
Colorism.
is said to me, it still makes me feel like the ugliest little black thing.
And that's valid. Hell, my little sister has told me that people tell her she's pretty for a dark-skinned girl. And yes, that is bullshit. But again, it's colorism. And what causes colorism? Racism and white supremacy. So, we didn't create the shit. We just inherited the byproducts of it.
Some black men only date white women.
Why is it?
See your answer before this one.
Okay for black men to date white women, but not okay for a black woman to date outside her race?
Internalized anti-blackness, internalized racism, misogyny, sexism, all that good stuff.
Why do you protest Black Lives Matter?
And then tear each other down in the next breath.
Why do
I'm gonna need you to stop with that all lives matter bullshit. It's bad enough white people do it. Here's the thing with Black Lives Matter, as opposed to black on black crime and black on black people attacking each other. If a black person kills a black person and is caught, 9.9 times out of 10 they go into jail. But if a black person is killed by not only a cop or or even a white vigilante, it's a coin toss. And baby, that's a problem.
We say that we don't want to be seen as a monolith, but then try to take people's black cards away for not liking something that's supposedly black. Why?
There go that special black snowflake shit. But on the real, this is a little theory I have. I think a lot of times when black people see other black people embracing traditionally white stuff, it's seen as an affront to black culture, which is already stigmatized, put down, shamed, looked at as less than. Not to mention, as I think Justin said on the show, a lot of times these little special snowflake black people aren't just like, well, I don't like Beyonce or I don't like trap music. It's rarely like that. From experience, as one who's dealt with black snowflakes and who actually used to be a black snowflake, yes, I'm a reformed one. 9 times out of 10, they'll say, I don't like rap music. I don't listen to that. You listen to Waka Flocka. I don't listen to Future. That's the type of shit that gets you clowned. That's the type of shit that makes people talk shit about you. That's the type of shit that gets your black card revoked. And besides, that's not a thing.
we so quick to support a non-black owned business, but then hesitate when it's a black owned business? I mean,
I need to see receipts, because where's that a thing? Where's that a thing?
Is there a cutoff time for this whole homophobia thing in the black community? Because I'm really looking forward to that.
Why is throwing
Pause. As a queer person, yes, homophobia is a problem in the black community. But we ain't the ones making the laws. We aren't the ones who are introducing these religious freedom laws. We aren't the ones who are sponsoring people being killed in Uganda. Hell, we're not the people who introduced homophobia to black people and other cultures of color. If you look back, if you do a little research, do a little Googling, POC cultures have always been a little bit more fluid when it came to sexuality and gender. Then they met with Europeans and some shit went down. Do your research.
Without a father so common in our race.
Why don't
That has been largely debunked. There are so many articles, studies, statistics that point to black men not only being active fathers, but might even being more active fathers than their white and non-black POC counterparts. Again, Google it.
we like to confront our mental health issues? Therapy is such a wonderful and magical place.
That is actually a semi-valid question. But again, like, oh wait, I'm gonna start here. Let's actually start here. My podcast co-host brought up a good point. A lot of times black people couldn't afford therapy, couldn't afford to get on medication. So they turned to the only spaces they had where they could seek some type of solace and self-care. And this dates back to slavery, which is the church. Well, and while I have my issues with the church, a lot of time it's been the only thing we have. Even now, getting help is difficult. Until today, I just got my pills back and it was a lot of work. I'm still trying to find a therapist that I actually want to get up and go to. Not to mention mental illness is stigmatized in America as a whole. Then that's just a big problem. Services for mentally ill people are dismal. There's not much out there. That is an American problem. That is not a black problem.
Why is there a checklist for being black?
Why is being
Since when?
educated considered a white thing?
Where? Where? Again, you might have that one outlier of nigga who will be like, ha, you're smart, you're a nerd, wah, wah, wah. Kids! That is an outlier. Black people as a whole don't see education as a white thing. Hell, I've been reading since I was 3. Let's be real. I have some hoodest ass family members who are some of which are my biggest supporters, who support my endeavors, asking me asking me questions about shit because they know I know a bunch of random facts. That's intellectualism is not a black thing.
Why can't I love school and also be black?
Why do I have to be mixed in order to have long hair?
Why do you
Colorism.
think well-off black people don't know what it means to be black?
Because a lot of well-off black people tend to have a classism issue and tend to look down upon us working class and lower class people. Talk to your folks.
Black isn't only defined by adversity.
Why do some black people say, oh, I have Native American in my family, in order to feel interesting or more valuable than other black people around them?
Why can't we just
Because blackness isn't seen as a valuable thing. And we're ingrained to think that our blackness is not an invaluable thing. Again, that is not a system created by us. That is not something that we built.
acknowledge that there are a bunch of different types of black people walking around, and they're all amazing and unique and special in their own way?
I agree with you
The
there.
black community are so quick to kind of tear each other down and to look towards other races in terms of their success and in terms of what they have, but never want to kind of look into the mirror ourselves.
Why do you expect the worst of your people?
Love black folks, but that doesn't mean I don't have questions.
Why are we all
And most of your questions are rooted in anti-blackness and internalized racism and white supremacy, and I think you need to interrogate that.
always looking for the discount? Shoot, I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking for a discount too, though. I'm saying this, I'm one of them.
Why is this so?
I work in retail. I said that in the beginning of this video, and I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Yes, black people do walk in looking for a discount, but guess what? So do other races. I can't tell you how quick I'm ringing up somebody's stuff, just boop, 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 phone in my face, white woman sticking a coupon in my face. Or as Evelyn on the internet says, hell hath no fury like a white woman with a coupon book this thick. And don't let their coupon not work. They will call the manager to your register about a coupon. So, honey, that is not a black thing. I can say that as somebody in the service industry. That's not a black thing. And those are my thoughts about this stupid ass video.